Hey guys, welcome to the first video in this Pandas crash course playlist where I keep each video around 5 to 10 minutes long. So with that being said, let's jump into the first lesson, which is called How to Load Files in Pandas. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is import the Pandas library. And to do that, we're going to say import pandas as PD. And so this is going to give us access to all the methods that Pandas has. And I'm going to show you what methods look like in this video as well as the rest of this whole playlist. So next topic is something that I would say is the most important concept to understand within the Pandas library. And that is called the data frame. And you can think of a data frame as a two-dimensional tables that contains columns and rows. So if over here in this code you see a variable called data, and this dictionary contains keys and values. And what's really nice about Pandas is that it lets us convert the dictionary into what is called a data frame. So if I do pd.dataframe and then pass in the dictionary with all the values, if we print that out, then you can see how it's nicely formatted into this sort of tabular format. And what's even cooler is that if you just say df and put it into Jupyter Notebook, it has a nice layout that Jupyter Notebook supports. Some cool things you can do with data frames is you can perform some column and row operations as well as some filtering that you guys are going to see in future videos of this playlist. Another thing that you should know is something called a series, which is pretty much a one-dimensional array, and you can think of it as one column in a data frame. Next, we're going to talk about how to download external data and put it into our local Python program using Pandas. So we're going to use a data set on Kaggle that contains crime stats in the US from 2005 to 2015. And I'm going to be putting this data set in the description below so you guys can follow along. But if you guys do have another data set that is more interesting to you, then I highly encourage you guys use that one and follow along with the code. So let's talk about loading CSV files. And when I downloaded this data set from Kaggle, it was originally in a CSV file. And what you can do is you can put it in the same folder as your Python program, like I have right now. And you can say df is equal to pd.readcsv. And then we're going to pass in the name of the dataset, which is statecrimestats.csv. If we run that, and if we take a look at what's inside, we can see that we have all 55 rows and all 33 columns. We can also load files that are in an Excel workbook. So to do that, we can say df is equal to pd.readexcel, and then we pass in the name of the Excel workbook, which in this case is statecrimestats.xlsx, and we pass it inside quotes. We also got to make sure that this one is in the same folder as our Python program. We can also specify the sheet name where our data is located in. So over here you see the whole Excel workbook, and our sheet name is called state crime stats. So let's put that in our code. We're going to have another parameter called sheet name, and that's going to be set equal to state crime stats. Now this is an optional parameter, and if we didn't pass this, then it would automatically retrieve the first sheet. Once you have these two parameters, we can take a look inside, and like the other output, it should look the same with 550 rows and 33 columns. Okay, now let's talk about two basic methods and attributes that we can use with Pandas data frames. The first one that I want to talk about is the shape attribute. This one lets us see how many rows and columns that we have in the data frame. So it's pretty useful, and if we didn't run this line of code, then this would be helpful for us to get an idea of what the size of the data frame is like. Another one I want to talk about is df.head. This simply returns the first 5 rows of the data frame. These are two pretty common lines of code that we run when working with Pandas, And I'm going to be talking about a lot more advanced methods in the future videos that will allow us to filter, clean, group, and sort data. So if you made it to the end of this first video, then thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me, and I hope you guys stick around for the next videos to come.